everyone, and welcome to our second episode of Adam Talks Too Much, the show where I talk too much. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about some fun movie news that has dropped, and I'm going to be talking with cool friends of mine. So let me introduce those guys. First, we have Brandon Bonnet. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, what's up? Excited to be here.
Hey, and let's say hello to my good friend Zach.
Hello. I am also excited to be here.
And my other good friend Jackson. Say what's up.
Hey, I'm Jackson. Excited to be here.
Cool, guys. And so we're going to be running down a couple items here in movie news, including what just dropped, which is John Watts has just been announced as doing a Star Wars show. And then we're going to be talking about some theories and ideas for the Batman 2 and our review and thoughts of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or whatever the frick it's called. And then we're going to be talking, if we have some time, some upcoming films, what we're excited about. I'm sure Brandon's going to bring up Halloween Kills. Or Halloween Ends, I guess, rather. So let's hop into it. And let's run down. I'm going to hop over here to the web real quick and talk about John Watts being, guys, what do you guys, first off, what do you guys think about John Watts taking on a Star Wars project? Brandon, start with you.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm stoked. John Watts did, in my opinion, a great job with the Spider-Man film. So I'm excited to see what he can do with Star Wars, especially given that it's going to be mostly cast with younger people. I think it could be fun to see a Star Wars story from that perspective for sure. Yeah. Especially if they're little Jedis.
Yeah, I agree.
Jackson, can you tell us a little bit about what the show's about, like from the little that we know?
Yeah, no, totally. I believe the code name for it is Grammar Rodeo, which is a Sins reference, I think. But it's supposed to be, from what we know, it's set after the events of Return of the Jedi, and it is mostly going to be about younger people. They've been doing a lot of casting the last few months for it, and the people that they've announced have been mostly kids, some adults, but the speculation is that it's going to be about a group of younglings who escape after, or not escape, but who are at least being trained or, around after Return of the Jedi happened. Right. Maybe even like Luke, we don't know, but it's just speculation at this point.
Nice. Zach, what do you think about John Watts taking on this project?
I'm super excited. Especially with what they have going on with the Star Wars continuity,
right,
with the series. So I'm super excited to see what he does, especially like Jackson was saying with the Spider-Man trilogy that they had. I loved it. It was probably one of my favorite Spider-Man interpretations, as far as the storyline goes and the arc that he had. And so I'm really excited to see what he has to do.
Brandon, what's your thoughts on John Watts taking on this?
Who, me?
Yeah, Brandon.
Oh, sorry. I want to make sure I want to speak when spoken to. I'm excited. Like, cool director. They've already set up some things. Everyone's talking about his Spider-Man movies, but I personally love John Watts before Spider-Man. I love his Spider-Man movies, don't get me wrong, but he did Cop Car and this horror movie called Clown, and he's an incredible director. So, like, it's cool that they're adding him to the Star Wars universe, and I'm excited. I will watch whatever he does. Yeah. That's why I've seen the Spider-Man movies. Y'all know, me. Like, I try to stay up to date with Marvel, but there's a lot. But like, I want to see something original by him again. Like, that's just me. I know.
Well, I think we are getting that.
But like
next year, he's doing
it's
George Clooney thing.
Existing franchise. Like, he did 2 movies that were just completely original from his own idea.
Wait.
I love that about John Watts, because if you see his weirdness in both Cop Car and Clown, you see it all over the Spider-Man movies. Kind of like how, which we'll talk about later, Sam Raimi doing the new Doctor Strange movie. You could see a Sam Raimi movie in there, but I like an original Sam Raimi movie. I know John Watts is awesome. I love him. I'm excited for this, but I hope he does something original as well. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Isn't that what he's doing next year? Isn't he doing an original? Like, what is
Oh,
his
does
movie?
he have it? See, I'm not up to date like
Yeah,
you.
he's
He
doing
does
something
already
with
have another
Clooney.
movie.
Yeah, I think he's doing something with Clooney and Brad
Ooh.
Pitt. Yeah. So
Oh,
I don't know if it's
already sold.
original.
It's
but
going to be amazing.
yeah, it's probably gonna be great. It would be great to
Like-
actually see his style, since I think with the Spider-Man movies, it's that he doesn't really have. I don't really think that movie has a lot of style to it. I mean, there is some, but I feel like it's kind of he's a really great Marvel director. I'd like to see his style again because I love Cop Car too. So, have you
Yeah.
guys seen Cop Car?
I agree with that. Like, I think it would be interesting. Like, Marvel really likes to pick up these directors who do indie movies and put them in the Marvel world. We've seen it with dude that directed. We directed Creed as well. Ryan
Coogler.
What's his name?
Coogler.
Ryan Coogler.
Coogler.
Just all types of things like that. Like where they take certain directors, like these indie directors, and give them big movies. Little Miss Sunshine directors did Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they get them to be like, hey, this is what we want. This is exactly what we want. But still, John Watts' weirdness is in the Spider-Man movie. Like, his
bit.
touch is in there. But
It just.
I don't know. I like him as a director.
I think like
A writer
palette wise, if you're talking about color and like things that he shoots, it doesn't feel like it has his voice necessarily. It feels just like you could replace John Watts in those Spider-Man movies with, the guy who did Ant-Man. It would feel probably the same, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of flavor. So I'm excited to see what he's doing with Star Wars and with George Clooney. So maybe we could get some.
Yeah,
hopefully it's not
especially
like
right now, and I'll shut up and let somebody else talk. But especially right now, like Star Wars, after we got the Skywalker saga, the ending, Star Wars fans are a little salty right now, and this spice that they're adding by adding John Watts is nothing but good things. Like, I'm not trying to be a hater by any means.
Yeah.
No, totally. No.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm excited to see. I mean, if it's anything headed toward the direction, I really like the Mandalorian. I wasn't that big of a fan of Boba Fett, I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
the Mandalorian, the episodes where the Mandalorian was in, those were my favorite episodes. So if it's anything like that and headed in that direction, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I honestly haven't seen Top Car. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
I need that.
It's good.
Sleeping over here.
It's a good
Is
one.
it?
It's really good. It's really good.
And
how the man could direct kids, young child actors. So the fact that Jackson is saying it's about young children, what he can get out of young performers, I'm all for. Because if you watch Cop Car, it's all from the perspective of kids who are like 8 or 9. Like, it's mind-blowing what he does. So definitely see it. I just can't recommend it enough.
He from what he's been quoted, or somebody was quoted, he said he's taking an Amblin approach, like Steven Spielberg-ish
approach.
Spielberg approach to it. So it's fascinating. The dots are all connecting of why he left Fantastic Four, and I think a lot of us were like, wait, what? He left Fantastic Four? Like, I was shocked. I was honestly like, what is he going to be doing?
To be honest, I thought it was weirder that John Krasinski left A Quiet Place. I was like, man, that franchise that you started, why are you leaving it?
Well, we know. Well, at least we think we know.
Future. Yeah, we think we know. I'm pretty sure.
The stars are aligning.
The stars are aligning.
So yeah, something's happening. Like, and I think we're gonna get what we want, but we'll talk about that later. Sorry.
We'll see. I'm excited for John. I think this is cool. I think we all saw this coming after he He nicely put a nice little statement out whenever he left Fantastic Four. So I think we're all excited to see what he's gonna do with the Star Wars. I think even Feige's he's doing a Star Wars project too. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe he is doing John Watts' Star Wars project. Maybe that's what. Maybe he's producing.
Oh, we broke it first. If it happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we ever going to see Feige direct? Would that be any interest to anybody to see Feige do a directing?
I would be very interested.
Yeah,
I'd be so interested. I kind of wish it wouldn't be a comic book movie, like just him do a drama or something.
Just straight drama or straight comedy, like Hangover comedy.
That's hilarious.
Dude,
I don't think you would.
Yes, I would love Kevin Feige to do something. Reboot The Hangover. What does that look like?
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Anyways,
Zach Galifianakis old.
Oh, dude, yeah, Zach Galifianakis.
Before we leave Star Wars, I'm pretty sure y'all, like, we all kind of run in the same circles, like with social media and stuff, like what we like and what we don't like. Have y'all seen all this fan art with Keanu Reeves as in Star Wars?
I think I've seen some of it.
Dude,
I have not.
I hope they fulfill this. Like, I'm like, yeah, I saw someone do some art with him dressed up as a Sith, as a Jedi, as all different characters. Like, yeah, he fits in this. Can we get Keanu Reeves in this?
Yeah, there was a first game, Knights of the Old Republic, and there was Revan. Everyone is always like, oh man, Keanu Reeves needs to play Revan. Which would be cool, absolutely. I mean, he's a great actor, obviously. Yep. We all love Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Do y'all think Star Wars would ever do that? Like, bring in, like, a big top... Like, I kind of looked how they did the original trilogy, even the prequel trilogy, even the last Skywalker trilogy. Like, they kind of bring in... They like to bring in unknowns. Like, with this new one, Oscar Isaac was kind of the biggest star...
Totally.
And he wasn't that big until, you know, now we know him as Oscar Isaac, but...
Yeah, that's true. Because Adam
it's hard
Driver
to say
wasn't
because
famous yet. Sorry, Jackson.
No.
Okay. No, they do tend to bring in people that are a little less known, just for just to bring in someone that you can see more as the character, I think, than you know, getting.
So.
But it would be cool though. I mean, I don't know what their thoughts on that are, but it would be cool to see someone like that in a Star Wars film.
Oh,
in Last Jedi, which y'all thought I hated, I did not hate, Jackson.
He still can't he can't handle this.
They brought in Laura Dern. You know, they brought in Laura Dern, and so, like, they do bring in actors, but I just think it's always interesting that they try to find unknowns for, like, to start with their main characters. I wonder if they'll ever break from that. So I'm just, like, it was that kind of a Star Wars staple, like, kind of finding the new James Bond, not someone that's really broken yet, but that's on the verge. Like, I don't know.
I think it's.
I agree.
I think it's their style for.
Yeah,
Lucas.
but I think if the role is right and if like the writing right and Keanu is like comes in, he's like, you know, I'm feeling this. I'm sure they would. Like 100%. He seems like the kind of guy that he's down to do it as long as that storyline is there and he gets to have a good time.
I agree.
So I'm looking at the fan art right now and it looks absolutely incredible. I'm super down for
That's
that.
why I had to bring it up. Like, it just looks too good.
Yeah, let's get Nicolas Cage in Star Wars, man.
Hey.
All right.
That's my fear of all this is like having someone involved in Star. I think that's why they've stayed away from it, is having someone in Star Wars who's famous or bigger or whatever is to not distract from the complex. I don't know. I think it is less distracting to have like a Adam Driver where no one really knew him yet, and as he got more famous through the years, I think it was more.
I think I only knew Adam Driver from Girls at that time because I was actually watching that show. He hadn't really done anything really big before then, had he?
I think it was,
not really.
Not much. Yeah, not much.
And he was incredible. He was the reason I watched that show, Girls. He was incredible. So
yeah, that's a lot of people's reason to watch that show.
Also, like, you know, like I'm speaking of Last Jedi, they brought in Benicio del Toro, who I think is like an amazing actor, but not like, you know, you don't go to the movie for a Benicio del Toro movie unless you're a nerd like me, and then they do nothing with his character. So
that's true.
And they do nothing.
He was so mad about that.
I am too.
He threw it in his
so
fight.
upset.
He threw it into his debate last time y'all did. He's like, and then Benicio del Toro, how dare they?
It's Benicio del Toro, and his character was cool. Like, why not? Like,
whenever they announced him to be in the movie, I was like, oh, who's he gonna play? And then watching the movie, I was
okay.
That's what he went
I hope
with.
we go more with this. Nope. Like,
Here,
just that ending shot of him, and you're like, oh, something's gonna come from this, and it did.
I got some fan art up of Keanu Reeves. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really
It
sweet.
was good.
That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah.
But
I
maybe
can
not
see
as
it
cool
being
a
a citizen.
segue. Bryan Cranston as Mr. Freeze in the Batman 2.
All right, let's move on to the Batman 2. Let's just move on to that. So, at CinemaCon, it was Matt Reeves came out on stage and announced that, I mean, this was no shock to anybody, but that the Batman 2 had been greenlit, and the crowd went wild. Yeah, I did. I was freaking. I mean, I guess I didn't think it was gonna be like, I knew it was gonna be greenlit, especially after seeing the box office for it, but it was still good to hear it. So, are you guys, obviously, I know all three of you guys are pumped for the Batman 2. Have you guys thought about what approach, what villains, what things could they do with the Batman 2? What could they do with Bruce Wayne / Batman? Let's start with Jackson. What do you think would be cool to see in a Batman 2?
Well, first of all, I was surprised at how long they took to announce that they were gonna
That is
find a
true.
sequel. I was like 2 days after that movie was out, I was like, here it comes, news. They're gonna be like, yeah, Batman 2. Like, the box office speaks for itself, but man, it was like weeks later. I was like,
Yeah, that
whoa.
is kind of strange.
I know, it blew my mind, but I'm excited. I'm really excited to see more of Barry Keoghan's Joker character from
Right. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
scene. Yeah. Oh.
If you haven't seen it by now, we're gonna spoil Doctor Strange.
Some guys
If you
out
haven't seen it by now,
some
that's
guys out
on
there
you.
right now is like, I'm trying to sign up for HBO Max right now, but my card keeps getting declined. I don't know why. I've been just
My
doing to watch
dad.
Batman. Yeah, your dad.
But no, I'm really excited to see what he does with the Joker character, especially. I mean, it was just that brief little deleted scene that we got to see, and that kind of odder scene in the film. But I first of all, that guy he's a really good actor, and I'm excited to see it just because of that. And because of what little we've seen of it, I'm really intrigued. The design and his mannerisms, and just the thought of seeing Robert Pattinson and Barry Keoghan kind of going off in an acting battle between the two of
Yeah.
them, I think would be really cool.
That deleted scene was a nice little. They should have left it in the movie. I think I talked to Brandon about it
I
too.
totally agree with you, Adam. Why did they not leave that in the movie?
It seems-
Why?
Seen it in the film. I get maybe they thought like it might overshadow Riddler, because
But why was
everyone
it the weird
That
one?
ending would have been more so than it should have been. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'll shut up. It's not my turn.
Zach,
I'll shut up.
Zach, did you see
No,
the deleted scene?
I did. I saw the deleted scene and I thought it was amazing.
See, that's what I'm
I
saying.
think I mean, but honestly, I think it was smart that they did it as a deleted scene. It gets people wondering what they were thinking, and it also puts like, okay, what are they planning for the future? Like, why did they delete this scene? What is the plan for the next step? Because I mean, when they bring the Joker in, it's gonna be a big. Because I'm thinking like Heath Ledger big. I'm hoping Heath Ledger big because I mean, it's just. It's time for the Joker. Like, I mean, you got Joaquin Phoenix who did an amazing job, but that's a separate thing. I don't ever
feel like
think
Joker. Yeah,
exactly. At least not yet. And so with this one, it's just it has me excited for where they're going with it.
this is my problem with it being living as a deleted scene. I feel like if it's not in the canon of the movie, then it didn't happen, right? Like the deleted scene doesn't like if the director decided to put it online, I think he's doing it to be like, hey, look what we shot, but it's not like a part of the canon of the movie anymore. So that's what makes me think, like, are they going with that approach of look, the character? I mean, I don't even know if they defined the character yet. Like, it's 2 scenes they shot. So I would love to see that exact dude in a movie, but I don't know. That's what freaks me out a little bit.
I feel like they wouldn't have released it as a deleted scene if he wasn't intending to
That's true.
to follow up. Because I don't think he wants to get everyone's hopes up and then do something completely.
Other than he made a poor decision by not putting in the movie. I love the dude, but I think he should have put it in the movie. And then you made it.
I still think it would added to the like detective element, like going to old, like already old villains that he's had. I think it would really like. I think that movie. I saw it 7 times at the theaters. I've watched it 3 times now on HBO Max. I'm obsessed. I'm a fan. So like now I'm only seeing. Oh well, I would have done it this way. He made a perfect movie. I'm not trying to say he didn't, but I just think that scene. Now seeing it so many times. That scene been in the middle, we all would have gasped. Like,
Totally.
brought in the Joker. They already brought him in, and then that ending would have been, oh, what? They're gonna team up? What? Like
The scene they left in it was not great. I think like was weird. I don't know. I didn't like it, but I like the scene that we saw. I think it would have been better if they just had both in or deleted the one that's in the movie.
Yeah,
like, I hate that.
It felt kind of weird in the film as is. It was like the only time during the movie whenever I was in the theater, whenever I it didn't take me out of it, but I was just kind of like, oh, I wonder what the choice was there. But with that scene beforehand, I think it would have informed that a little bit more. Not to say that I didn't enjoy that scene in the film, but I agree.
Well, the scene did what we're all already talking about. Be like, was that the Joker? Is that the Joker bringing out the deleted scene? So it kind of did what I think they intended, because they never said, oh, this is definitely the Joker. We all just assumed because we've seen a Batman movie. We know, be like, oh, that's probably the Joker. But I think had they left that scene in, it would have been a bigger shock to be like, man, leave it out of the trailers. In the middle of the movie, Batman goes to Joker. Would have made already a 5-star movie, in my opinion, a 6-star somehow. Like, I'd be like, oh my God. Like, y'all kept that from us? Because they kept it from us all together. Like, they did keep that. Yeah. I had no idea the Joker was in it. I knew that, which Jackson, I was going to ask you just one thing, and then I promise I will shut up and not take over all the time. But did you see Killing of a Sacred Deer?
I did.
That's why I'm terrified of this kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw that movie. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy you get. Yeah, you get him to be creepy and weird. Already done it as a 15-year-old, supposedly. Like, terrifying. Like, we are in for like Zach said, with a Heath Ledger performance. If they do move forward with a sequel being the Joker part of it, if y'all thought the Zodiac stuff was creepy, no telling what he's going to bring out with this kid.
I hope they don't go with the second one. I'm not going to lie. I hope that they don't. I hope that they kind of, you know how throughout the Marvel where Thanos was kind of there but not there? I hope in the second one the Joker's there and there's a little taste of him, but he doesn't come into the third one.
Yeah,
build him
totally. I'm hoping the Joker is not the next villain. I hope they do it like they did with Penguin. They established Penguin. Honestly, Colin Farrell deserves to be the main villain of the next movie.
No,
I didn't even know it. Like, if you told me that wasn't Colin Farrell, I like put him on screen as much as you want. But
I don't think performance. I'm excited for that show.
Yeah, if they're doing a show, if they're doing a show with him, doing
That's
him as the main villain.
The main villain. He's got his own show.
I think Matt is talking a lot about Mr. Freeze, and I would love to see his take on that.
Totally. I agree. And you were saying Bryan Cranston. I think another Breaking Bad cast member could do it. Giancarlo Esposito. I think he would be an amazing Mr. Freeze. I love that guy.
Terrifying. They got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I think he'd be a really good. Yep. I think he'd be a really good Mr. Freeze.
I can't remember what I watched recently with him, but he played a good guy in it, and I still didn't trust him. And he was a good guy through the entire movie. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, I know what you've done. I've seen what you've done. No.
Is that the guy who owns the restaurant in the show?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. This isn't Adam Talks TV.
No, this isn't a TV-related show.
Boys, sorry.
Any TV you get kicked off. No,
I talked about Obi-Wan. I forgive me for that. I hope I'm not booted off the show.
You are, but we'll talk later. So for me, my perfect Batman sequel would be more of the same detective stuff because it was amazing. I would like him to meet Morgan Freeman's character. What was his character's name? Lucius, a Lucius type character,
Fox.
to get some upgrades. I would like him to see him pursue the second part of Bruce Wayne, which is the Playboy version. Him like diving into that a little bit and kind of playing into this other like.
I think that would be fun. I think that would be really fun to see that.
Yeah, I think that would be my perfect. And for villain, I think Mr. Freeze would be cool. Somebody like that we haven't seen in a long time, and someone doing a take on that would be cool because we've got a lot of the Nolan type, like a Bane, we've seen the Joker a zillion times. We've seen Scarecrow would be cool too, but we've seen him. I want to see Mr. Freeze done in a realistic way. Like, how would you approach that? The genius of Matt Reeves.
I agree with you on Scarecrow, but like, wouldn't you imagine what Scarecrow looks like in Matt Reeves' universe? Like, I'm sorry, that just seems so cool.
Well, Brandon, the thing is, I think I can imagine that, and that's why I'm like, okay, that seems doable. What would a Mr. Freeze look like? I know it sounds awesome, but what would Mr. Freeze look like with Matt Reeves' take? Because that, to me, I'm like, I don't even know what you would do.
True. You got me on that. True.
Who do you think would play Mr. Freeze? I mean, who do you think that would play the Scarecrow?
Oh,
like, who would be a good Scarecrow?
It's hard to take Cillian Murphy away from it because that fool just looks like a Scarecrow to me. I love him to death, but
I think you go. Like, I
don't know. I really don't know who I'd cast as Scarecrow. But whoever Matt Reeves cast after casting the Joker, he knows who to cast
and
for
Robert
the role.
Pattinson.
Like,
Robert Pattinson too. I mean, that was.
Oh man.
Oh what? Oh, I'd like to see more of.
Were
Alfred,
any of y'all in doubt that when Robert Pattinson was cast? I'm just curious. Like, I had seen Good Time and a lot of his indie stuff. I was like, oh yeah, perfect casting. But everybody I ran around, they were like, the Twilight guy. Oh my gosh. I'm like, wait, dude. Like, Kurt Russell was a Disney child, and now he's the most manliest man ever. Like, everybody starts from somewhere.
I think if this was 2010, whenever Batman was coming out, I think we would probably all be skeptical.
Yeah, we'd all be like, the Twilight guy.
But after what we've seen of his career over the past, decade or whatever, I think we're all, when we heard that, I think most of us were.
And just in case, if you're watching this and you haven't watched it for the Robert Pattinson, it's Robert Pattinson, just watch it. It's really good.
Just watch
it. It's really good.
The chat is thinking Bane again. I think Bane would be cool, but we've seen a good version of that. I want to see something that we have never seen. We've seen a version of Mr. Freeze, but that was so bad.
It's been so long, and
it chilled me to my bone.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
Honestly,
Anyways,
I grew up on those movies, and so I definitely have a what do you call it? I have a love for that. Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger playing like that role. It's very special to me, but not because it's good.
Right. I remember turning on, because at the end credits of one of those, I think it's Batman and Robin, there's a song by, I think it's R. Kelly. So sorry, but there's a Gotham City song that's like Gotham City. Oh yeah, it's like this like real R&B like weird, and I used to listen to it on repeat. I'd rewind the VHS, play it again, rewind the VHS. And one time, like, a pastor came over to our house to like talk to my mom or something, and I played it thinking it was a churchy type song. I don't know. I was like, he's gonna love this.
Listen to this.
Pastor Daniel's gonna love this.
Maybe he's gonna ask me to sing it in church the next week. Anyways, does anyone have any other thoughts on the Batman 2, like characters or where you think the story's gonna go? Does anyone else have any more thoughts about it?
I think Jackson was saying Hush.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love to see Hush as a villain in live action. I think that would be really cool. There was a couple of little teases that Matt Reeves put in this first one for it, which I thought was fun. Oh, yeah. But so that would be a fun one because it's more of a human villain than like something that he has to, that's a little bit more on the supernatural or extra
more grounded.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little more grounded, so that could be cool to see for sure. But it just depends on where he's going with it. I mean, anywhere he goes with it, I'm gonna follow him to the end. So
Yeah, same.
Do you think we're gonna get a Robin?
I think there already is
Yes.
one. I think that little boy at the beginning of the film is Robin. That's my
You
theory,
think
and I'm
so?
sticking with it. Yeah, he's in a red. He's doing martial arts, and he's in red. I'm just like, he's already stated that he's done little things. I think the Joker's looking across the street. There's like an image of the Joker looking across the street at Falcone or whatever. And he's already said that he's put a bunch of stuff in there. So why wouldn't he have put maybe that's that boy he saves at the funeral? I think that might be
Yeah.
our Robin. That's my theory.
that would be cool.
That would be
he's
super
I think
cool.
you're right.
What'd you say, Brandon?
Who? Me?
Yeah, Brandon, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're totally right. But honestly, I think Jackson nailed it. As long as Matt Reeves is a part of this, I don't care. Do what you want, baby. Like, I am so on board. I was on board after that first trailer. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we're in for something. And to me, it makes me excited about Batman again. We kind of had a little lull here. I think Ben Affleck had some good qualities, but, it's been a while since The Dark Knight Rises. Like, I'm just excited, man, to get another Batman movie. We live in a good universe right now, movie-wise.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy where we are there with that.
I agree.
Would there be a possibility ever? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a fantastical world at all. It just seems like a gritty, dark. But is there a possibility of a Superman-ish, supernatural-ish type character ever being in this universe with Matt Reeves, or do you think it's too grounded? What do you guys think?
I think that depends on what he does with the sequel.
Oh, true.
I honestly think it's where he goes. If he does do a magical element with maybe the Mr. Freeze type, or maybe he does Killer Croc, I don't know.
Yeah,
But maybe if he introduces that, maybe. But I hope that's not the angle that they're playing right now. But they probably are. Like, let's be honest. We got to make everything a franchise. I think there's a way it could. It's all how he handles the sequel, and maybe even this Penguin series that we're getting, and the Arkham Asylum series that we're getting. So
yeah.
I think it's how they would write Superman. I mean, really, I feel like there should be a way to be able to ground Superman a little bit and make him a little bit darker, a little bit grittier.
Isn't that what they sort
and
of
I
did
think
with
what would
Man of
be-
Steel, though? Don't you think? Is what they were
It
trying
is.
to do.
I agree, but like what I would do, right, is I would literally on the third movie is have a cutscene, like depending on where he goes with this trilogy, have a cutscene of like him and Superman meeting up, and like just have Batman in the next Superman movie.
Yeah,
I would
maybe
really like
maybe he comes up to him and goes, "Do you bleed?" That would be crazy.
the line
Exactly.
is still good. I don't
You
care what
will.
anyone says.
My favorite part is when they
line
did
is
it again
so
in Justice
good.
League.
It is a good. When that trailer first came out, I was like,
That's
all
true.
right.
That's true.
I-
I found that trailer on. Do you remember that, Brandon? It was like Comic-Con had
Yes.
just played it, and I like dug for it forever.
You got me
finally
a
found it.
bootleg copy
That's
of the
right.
Batman v Superman. I was
was
sitting at
pumped.
work at 3:00. I remember I just got off break, and you had texted me, be like, "Dude, I found a bootleg cut of the Batman v
Yeah.
Superman." Watched it. I cried. Watching it. I was like, "This is gonna be incredible."
Cut to
Yeah.
2016.
Cut to
March.
now.
You
I
know,
like it. I don't hate it. I'm not a
Yeah.
hater, but
Yeah.
uh,
It's a little.
I just-
bloated.
good.
Sorry. No, I was finished.
as the resident guy with unpopular opinions, I liked Lex Luthor in that.
Oh, I liked him too.
Didn't-
That was one of the
didn't
parts
have a problem with him.
I came out
No.
of the movie going,
Problem.
I like Lex Luthor. I thought he was cool. I liked his take on it.
I thought
Can I be honest? My whole problem with that movie was how they were trying to shoehorn the Justice League in. I was like,
Third
no,
act.
leave that out. Wonder
Yeah.
Woman doesn't need to be in this.
Mhm.
Let's just watch Batman and Superman beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
Then we can move to that. I think had they stuck to that, I think
Yep.
we'd all be singing a different story. But they
Mhm.
tried to force so much in one movie
Yep.
that Marvel took a couple movies they didn't even know what they had really at the time. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's studio mistakes you could see in that movie. Them like freaking out.
and then they threw Doomsday in the trailer.
Oh, yeah, I know why. And he looked so bad, like Ninja
Yeah.
Turtle-y bad. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I don't want to see a Superman in Matt Reeves's universe. It's not really something that I'm looking to. I don't know if they want to either. I mean, Discovery is kind of now that they've taken over Warner Bros. They're kind of talking about doing more Superman stuff, and I think whenever they say that, they mean they want to do more uh, of uh, what's his name, Matt, or Henry Cavill,
Henry
not
Cavill.
Matt.
Yeah,
I think
Matt
they want to do,
Cavill.
yeah, Matt Cavill. I think they want to do Henry Cavill Superman stuff. Is the gist that I was getting, but
Right. Or
you
the
know,
Michael B. Jordan, JJ.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah, Jordan
that
thing,
would be
yeah,
super cool.
that wasn't he.
That would be
Um,
Superman.
But can
Yeah.
we be honest? Like, and I know we're all from kind of the same generation. Like, I thought Henry Cavill for
I'm
Man of Steel.
15.
Man of Steel is a mess of a movie, but I think he's one of the best Supermans. Like, I think
love
he's
him.
one of the
I
best.
love him.
Are you kidding? Yeah.
Yep. I can agree with that.
I love Henry
Okay,
Cavill in
so-
general. I think he's
Same,
awesome.
I agree.
same. He's very likable in real life, but I mean, Man of Steel. All the problems I had with that movie, I still say it's the best Superman movie because he feels like Superman to me. And that's what I like about Man of Steel. That's what I like about, just like Ben Affleck, I thought he was great as Bruce Wayne and Batman. It's everything else that comes into play. I'm just like, oh, come on, Zack Snyder, just tone it in a little bit. You don't have to be the better version of Michael Bay because we don't want that. We just want you like
But
make
these
a
are
good
made.
movie.
These are
Make
made
a
for the
good movie.
audiences. That's what he always says in his defense. It's made for the
It's made
audience.
for
I'm
the-
like,
I just can't get over that scene with him and Superman where he's like,
oh, God.
I don't not like you.
Oh God,
Oh,
that's a Josh
Try to
Whedon.
do-
I
No,
thought you were
that's a
going to
Josh
say the
Whedon.
Martha scene where they figure out both their
No.
mom's name are Martha. But I'm not gonna lie, I put myself in Superman and Batman shoes. Had you said that and that was my mom's name, I'd be like, wait, what'd you say, dude? You talking about my mom? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would say something and be
Yeah,
like,
if
yeah, it goes in a different direction. Then I'd
He's
probably
like-
be like, dude, you bring my mom into this? Now I'm really gonna hurt you.
he's like, save Donna. Donna, who the? Why would
Carol, say Carol. Be like,
Carol.
that's my mom's name. What?
Why are you saying that? Zach, what were you gonna say? Zach, you had something you
I
were gonna
don't
say?
remember. I
Oh.
don't remember.
Frickin' frick.
I was
All
trying
right,
to make a joke. We can move on to Doctor
let's-
Strange because
let's
I will
move on.
definitely step out of this one.
let's move on to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think we all saw the movie. I think, Brandon. What did you guys think? I'll give my opinion on the film. I did not love it. I thought it was kind of messy in the second act. I don't like Sam Raimi as a director though, so maybe that's a part of it too. I think he's a little does silly choices on certain things. So I'm also not a huge fan of Doctor Strange, so that probably played into. But I really wanted to see where the universe is going, and I need to always just watch. I don't watch all of these movies. I haven't seen Black Widow, and I haven't seen the Eternals. But I try to keep up with the ones that I think are going to be a part of the storyline moving forward. And so and I also heard that spoiler alert if you haven't seen Doctor Strange, I heard John Krasinski was going to be in it, and I thought he was going to be in WandaVision. He's one of my favorite actor-directors, so I was excited to see him playing Reed Richards. So that's also another reason I wanted to see this movie. And that was the biggest disappointment for me, is seeing John Krasinski get destroyed in like the first 5 minutes on screen, and I was so disappointed by that. But anyways, that's my thoughts. I gave it like a out of 5 stars, I gave it like a 2.5. I thought it was kind of middle of the road for me. It really didn't elevate or move the Marvel universe forward or backwards or anything. It just kind of stayed still. Other than Wanda is sort of the best part about that whole movie. I think she is she's a great friggin' actress. I mean, Wind River and her as Wanda. I mean, everything that she's doing is just great, and I loved seeing her in this film and seeing the take that they took with her going like this horror aspect. And it was definitely not a kid movie at all. Like if there was any kids in that theater, they're probably disturbed by the end of that because it was so dark. So I do like seeing Marvel going in the direction of seeing. I truly did see Sam Raimi in that movie. I think his style really did shine. But anyways, let's hear Zach's opinion on the film.
So I agree with you, Adam. It's not my favorite Marvel film. I was going and expecting a little bit more from the multiverse as a whole, because to me it wasn't really a multiverse movie. Like, even though you travel in the multiverse, it was two universes, right? I was expecting them to like kind of, even though there's that one part where they're kind of pushing through each universe, I was expecting a little bit more time in the universes for a film called Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
And so I was going with a little bit of a different expectation. My favorite part was Wanda's conviction and what she was doing was absolutely crazy. Whenever they straight up killed all of the Illuminati shit like that, I looked at my buddy and I was like, what? Like, did they just really do that in like 5 minutes?
I know.
What the heck? The Black Bolt was insane. Oh my goodness, I didn't see that.
That's our first kill, isn't it? That's our first kill.
Yep.
And I was like, I was shocked. Yeah.
I straight up like killed himself with his own voice. Oh, blew his brains out. Oh, it definitely. I didn't mind that because I know that that's not gonna be the end of it, right? We're gonna see those characters in other places. Like I believe that, because I like Peggy. I like Captain. What's her name?
Oh
my mind went blank.
Yeah, the Captain America's wife. Chick?
Yeah, Peggy Carter. I like her. Right. I think she does an amazing job as that character, and so, I mean, she's a little bit darker than, Captain America, because Steve Rogers would have been like, we're not gonna let this happen. Like, we're not gonna kill Doctor Strange just because he did this. We're gonna try and find a way to make this work.
Yeah.
They were all just standing there. So I feel like it was deliberate that they killed off this Illuminati, because they're gonna bring in those characters each one by one. I think it was just an introduction.
I hope.
But I don't
so.
know. I don't know if they're going to be using the same actor for Black Bolt, because he was the one I never watched the series, but I know he was the one from the show, and I know that from what I hear, that one was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
That show was not anything. Yeah, and so I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I think Monica Rambeau, I think all those characters definitely have a place in the future. I mean, even Professor X. I mean, I think that he's gonna, depending on where the story goes, I hope he's there for the introduction of the X-Men, like whenever they finally bring the X-Men into the universe.
I think that was sort of my disappointment too, because I thought this film was going to be that. Maybe that's my own issue, is that I expected them to be bringing the X-Men into this universe.
At least one or two.
Yeah, something.
Besides
I thought
Professor
there was going
X.
to be a bigger scale of things that are happening in the MCU was going to happen, and that didn't happen. Anyways,
with
Jackson,
the title like Multiverse of Madness, you would expect that.
Yeah, exactly. Jackson, what's your thoughts on the movie?
I liked it a lot. I was a big fan of it. I mean, it wasn't like, it's not my favorite Marvel movie ever. I liked, especially, I think we can all agree that Wanda was the best part of the film. I will say it's an interesting choice for Marvel to make it, because I would say if you haven't seen WandaVision, then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness would have been kind of confusing for you. It's interesting that they're making the shows such important material. Like, it's pretty much, if you don't watch shows, it's, you're lost, which is, I don't think it's like the worst idea, because they want to make sure that the shows are being consumed, but it's definitely interesting because I know people out there that are just watching films and aren't as invested in watching TV shows. Yeah. So it's an interesting choice for sure. But I did love I really liked the movie a lot. I loved the Sam Raimi stuff. I thought though, because he's very wacky. You're right, Adam. He's got very wacky sensibilities. But I liked the wackiness of the horror stuff that he did. I thought that it was in that very Sam Raimi way. It was kind of silly, but also very it fit into the horror tone of it. Mm-hmm. I will agree. I think that the second the middle of the film, the second act was a little. It was probably the most muddy of the film. Is the middle part of it. I loved the Illuminati stuff. I thought that was really cool. I that whole scene where she's just completely butchering them all. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie. Was insane to see. And I love seeing Wanda as a villain. I thought that was so cool because I was not expecting that.
Really?
Whenever that WandaVision was going to tie into Multiverse of Madness, I thought that it was going to be more like she was going to join forces with Doctor Strange to face something. So I didn't see that coming in the slightest, which was a really cool reveal at the beginning of the film. But I really liked it. I thought that it had some issues. But overall, I'd say like out of 5, I probably would have given it like a strong 4.75.
3.5. Oh.
That's what I meant.
Was this the best film ever made?
Best film. I love it. Oh.
Zach, out of 5, what would you give it out of 5 for you?
I would say a 3, 3.5. I mean, it definitely. I like Sam Raimi a lot. Bruce Campbell is one of my favorite actors. Bringing him into that and showing like the hand like Evil Dead, it was hilarious.
It's like
I loved
my least
it.
favorite part.
That was your least favorite part?
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved it just because my first one of my best friends, my first horror movie was Evil Dead, and so watching that and seeing that moment, it hit home for me.
Well, I'm glad it did for you because I was so lost in that part where they landed that universe where the lights are backwards or whatever, and it's just it drags so slow right there, like where they're looking for. I think they look at memories of the past in that scene.
What was the point of that?
I don't know.
Understand.
I was confused the whole bit.
I think that was how they were going to get America's backstory with her mom's in.
Blech. Didn't like it.
I think she deserves her own. I think that she deserves her own story, right? I feel like if they should do either a series or a movie with her because. Yeah. I like her character.
She's cool.
A lot,
she
and
was
I think
cool.
that she has a lot to offer.
I was surprised I liked her because going into it, like the first couple of moments with her, I was like, this chick is gonna be so annoying through this whole movie.
That's what Carla said.
And I was
Carla was like,
"Oh, really?"
I think a lot of the confusion of the film as well can be attributed to the fact that this was supposed to come out before No Way Home.
Before, yep, and they had to do reshoots to correct it because of yep.
And I felt it in No Way Home as well.
Did you really?
I mean, because the whole I feel like the parts of No Way Home that were the least interesting / kind of why is this in here parts were the Doctor Strange parts. And those are the scenes that they had to go back and be like, okay, how do we explain that there's multiverse going on if we haven't done Multiverse of Madness first? And so
interesting.
Just although I think it worked out better than expected, but I'll say the parts of I love No Way Home as a film, but the part of No Way Home that I'm least interested in watching again whenever I'm watching it is the scene where Spider-Man fights Doctor Strange in the
oh really?
And I'm just like, okay, can we get back to like the Spider-Man stuff?
I mean, anything with Doctor Strange for me, I'm like, let's move on because I just hate that character in general. I'm like, the universe got so progressively wacky. I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch. She looks like a lizard to me. But
have you seen Sherlock?
No, I don't have.
Sherlock
I don't watch TV.
Is amazing.
Guy. I don't watch TV.
You need to watch Sherlock.
I
only watch American Idol.
What was the movie? The Power of the Dog? Like, really? Dude?
Oh, I did like it. That's the first time I was like, okay, he's a good actor.
All right.
Any other time,
I'm glad you like
I haven't
that.
seen
I
that
saw
yet.
I saw him in Black Mask, and I was like, is that what accent is he doing? He's like doing the worst Boston accent I've ever heard.
That's funny. I
Justice
like
for
I
Johnny.
personally
Justice
I
for
like
Johnny.
I like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I liked him after Power of the Dog, and I actually heard some bad things about him, and that's probably attributing to this. Is that I heard he was an asshole, so I think that's attributing to this thought. Is that someone met him in a hotel and he was a beehole? So
I feel like it says that about
everyone,
everybody.
that's true. that came up about Robert Pattinson. I'm like, no, it didn't happen. But if it comes up about someone I don't like, I'm like, yeah, probably true.
The other day I was saying like, there's rumors that Ben Stiller's an asshole, and I'm like, no.
I'm like, no, that can't be true. It can't be true.
Oh, he totally is. He was so rude to me.
I heard that. Jim Carrey was too, and I was like, no, no, not Jim Carrey. Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell was an a-hole. Yeah, I was like, what?
Jim Carrey, because he made Tommy Lee Jones out to be like the biggest dick. If Jim Carrey's the dick, oh my god,
he probably is though, a little bit. I bet they're all a little bit.
Hey, everybody has bad days.
World we live in.
Everybody has bad days. Everybody, what's the Miley Cyrus song? Everybody has bad days.
Wrecking Ball?
No, it's a bad day song. It's a Miley Cyrus song. Anyways, let's move on to So Brandon hasn't seen Doctor Strange, so he got spoiled all right then. But let's move on to this last bit, which is
seen Doctor Strange?
Nah.
He was supposed to see it last week, and so I was like, Brandon, you ready to get on the podcast? And he's like, still haven't seen it. I was like, are you kidding me?
I was supposed to go tonight, and then I'm busy tomorrow, so I was like, oh, I'll go Thursday and go see it. And then that new Alex Garland movie, Men's, coming out, and I was like, well, I can't go see Doctor Strange, too. Like, I have to go see the new Alex Garland movies.
You're basically never going to see it at this point.
I probably won't.
It's too far.
And I'm okay with that.
Disney Plus.
I'm kind of like, I like Benedict Cumberbatch, but I don't like him as a superhero. I'll watch anything else he's in. Like, Sherlock was incredible, but I'm good.
All right, guys, let's do what these upcoming films this year. What are we most excited for? And I'm going to start with myself. And I think the thing I'm most excited for the rest of the year is probably number one is Nope. I think that looks really cool. Yeah. Jordan Peele's new horror film. Number two would be probably Thor, Love and Thunder. Love Taika Waititi. Love the universe he's been doing since the third film. Excited to see Korg again. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Top Gun. I have never even seen the first one, but I'm hearing.
I'm excited. Like, I don't even like the first Top Gun, but I'm excited for this.
Me too. And then
I've never even.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I haven't seen Top Gun.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I've never seen it.
Oh, I've seen it. Like, it's dude, just watch Quentin Tarantino's theory of Top Gun, and you got Top Gun. Just watch the YouTube video, and those who have seen it, they'll know what I mean.
And then I'm excited about Lightyear as well.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then David O. Russell is also doing a movie this year. I think it's called November. I don't even know. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm excited about that one. Halloween Kills, probably not. I mean, Halloween Ends, not super excited about it.
You put that in there for me, dude. Why are you trying to take my moment? Why?
Also, Avatar, not excited about it. Those are mine. Let's go, Brandon. Either. Brandon, since you didn't have a lot to talk about on the last one, what are you excited about?
You said Nope. That was my number two. Nice. My number one's The Black Phone. Like, my
gosh, I thought that already came out.
I think
honestly.
that looks great. It was supposed to come out like a year ago, but that trailer has me, man. Like, even if I hate it, I'm probably going to see it 2 or 3 times and be like, did I really hate it or did I just not get it? Like, so,
I heard it's great too. I heard it's really good. They saw it at Cinema.
So I'm excited. Like, I've heard, because this is bring it back to Doctor Strange. This is a dude that Did he get fired or did he walk away from
He
Doctor
walked away
Strange
from
2?
creative differences. I bet it was a
Yeah.
lot of
Okay.
the.
So
Yeah.
I'm good for him to kind of come back with a swing because he created Sinister. I actually really liked. I think I saw the Doctor Strange movie. I'm pretty sure I saw it. There's a lot of flipping buildings, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's
Okay,
Inception.
yeah, I saw it. I saw it. I remember. Yeah, good job. But like, I'm a sucker for Ethan Hawke. I think he's a great actor, and seeing him
Yeah.
as a villain
Yeah.
and what they did together in Sinister, I think is exciting. Knives Out too. I said I'd bring
yeah.
up Ryan Johnson, and I did. That excited me. You telling me the news that they're going to give it a
Yeah.
45-week run
Yeah.
in the
Since I didn't say
theater
that on the
before it's on
stream,
Netflix.
since I didn't say that on the stream, it's being reported that Netflix may be doing a theater run for Knives Out too. So 45-day window. So that's gonna be cool. So I think that movie, if any movie that's dropping on Netflix, that movie deserves a theater release. Anyways, continue, Brennan.
And then my most anticipated, like, other than the Black Phones, Halloween Ends. Adam's already run this for me. Halloween's my franchise. He's trying to take away from me. I still remember seeing Halloween 2018 with Adam in the theater, and this is the review for Adam as the movie. We walk out of the theater, and Adam asked me, he's never seen a Halloween movie
No.
except for this one. He goes, "So can he not like die or something?" And I was like, "Oh, you've never seen a Halloween movie, have you?"
I've seen the Rob Zombie one actually.
Oh, sad.
Isn't that weird?
So sad. Anyway, so I'll shut up. Halloween Ends. I'm very excited for.
Boo.
I'm actually excited for Scorsese's new film, Killers of the Flower Moon. I think I wrote that down right.
No. It's called Gangster Movie. It's just about gangsters.
It's about a murder. It's about serial killings and stuff. It's not a gangster movie. So I'll move on from that. Actually, dude, one of the biggest things, I have a 9-year-old in my life, and we just watched the Paddington movies, 1 and 2, and they're incredible. Apparently, that director in 2023 is doing a Willy Wonka origin story called Wonka.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Timothy
I don't
Chalamet.
even like Willy Wonka that much. I'm so excited.
They showed footage of it at CinemaCon, and apparently it was magical. So I'm excited to see.
See, I'm so excited, and I feel weird being a 34-year-old white male saying Paddington is a great movie. Paddington 2 is an even better movie. You're a better person after you watch these movies. So that's why I'm really going all in for Wonka. Obviously they see something with this director. He's able to make me care about a teddy bear that's CGI.
Well, and
Ted was all right, but Paddington is way better.
Yeah, and Timothy Chalamet does not pick bad movies usually. He's pretty.
Yeah, true. He's on a good. And I didn't grow up with the original Willy Wonka. I saw it as a grown up, and I was like, yeah, kids in a chocolate factory. The girl that broke my heart, our first date was Charlie the Chocolate Factory. So I don't give a damn about that movie. So I don't care about Wonka at all. Like, I don't care.
No,
and I'm excited for it.
It's not a reboot, so I'm not a reboot, but like a remake. So I think they're
yeah, it's its own thing, and I think it's going to be something amazing. I really do, and that's it for me.
Yeah, Zach, you got an idea of what you're excited for this year?
So yeah, I got a little bit of an idea. I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder. It's bringing me back to the main, core Avengers right there. I love Thor. Thor is one of my favorite characters just because Chris Hemsworth, he plays it so well. And then I'm excited for Shazam, Fear of the Gods, just because I like Zachary Levi. And the majority of the movies I'm excited for are gonna be like superhero. That's kind of my genre. But Shazam, Fear of the Gods.
Can I just say one thing about Shazam? I'm so excited. I completely forgot Shazam 2 is coming out. I love David F. Sandberg, the director. Yeah. So I will hoot and holler for whatever he's doing. I'm so excited for Shazam 2 as well. Like, I really am.
And he's returning to horror after Shazam 2. So you should be.
No, I'm so
cool.
Anyway, yeah.
Sorry, Zach.
I'm so thankful you brought up that you're excited about it, because I am too.
And then I'm curious. Another one that has piqued my interest is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
I
just to
forgot
see
that was
what they're
coming out this year.
Yep,
I know.
yep, in November. So I'm excited for that one just because to see what they're gonna do. Since Chadwick Boseman is no longer with us, so it's gonna be very interesting to see what they do.
Is it
And then
the same director?
Yeah, same director. Yep.
uh, is
Yep.
it okay?
Yeah, Ryan
Yeah.
Coogler.
Is it
Well,
Ryan Coogler?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I remember Ryan Coogler. And
Oh,
then
cool, cool.
Knives Out 2. I love Knives. Now
Yeah.
that first movie was absolutely incredible. So Knives Out 2 is one of the ones I'm super
The
excited for
only
as well.
reason why Knives Out 2 didn't make it onto my list because it was a Netflix movie, and I don't consider that a movie. It's a it's a TV show that's.
What do
I get it.
what
I
do you
get you.
consider?
I'm
Just because it's not released in theaters.
sorry.
Like,
I only watch
really
movies
like,
in theaters.
what was that Chris Hemsworth movie that the Russo brothers produced
Uh,
for Netflix?
it's his name's
Extraction?
Yeah, Extraction.
Yeah,
Yep.
Extraction. I
I
never saw
thought that was a great TV show. Like, I watched it, I was like, man, this is cool.
It was a good
But
episode
because
24.
I watch it on Netflix, I can't take it serious. Like, I'm just like, oh, it was a movie on Netflix. So I get what you mean where it feels like TV. That movie was awesome, but it feels like TV to me for some reason.
This podcast was almost called For the Love of Cinema because when I walked back into a Cinemark or a theater after the pandemic, I almost started crying because couldn't believe I was back in the place that I loved so much. So yeah, I
What
don't like
movie
Netflix
was it?
movie. I don't even remember what I saw. It was something probably crappy. Oh no, Tenet. I walked into see
No, was it Tenet?
Tenet. Yep.
Yeah,
And
because
I
that was
freaking loved
because I
it.
remember you telling me this story, and I kind of had the same reaction. Like, I still had a face mask on, but I sat down, I had my bucket of popcorn, and I was like, dude, I'm about to watch a Christopher Nolan
I
movie,
know.
and I was so excited. I was like, this is awesome.
I couldn't believe it, man. It was so that's what this show was almost called, but Josh came up with Adam talks too much. But anyways, great
You did.
list. Do you have any more? That's it. Knives Out.
I mean, some honorable mentions. I mean, Top Gun, just because I've heard a lot of good things about
Yeah.
it. Just even with the filming, like that, Tom Cruise had the cast member like go through flight school,
Yeah.
which is super intense. And so I'm excited for that one. And yeah, that's
Everyone
that's
go see
pretty much-
Top
and
Gun in
then
theater. Yeah, so it can make some money.
Jurassic World, just because I'm a big Jurassic Park fan. So
Yeah.
Jurassic World is
Dude,
also
give me dinosaurs any day of the week. I
And
will
it's-
watch anything with dinosaurs. I'm excited too.
It's the old cast all coming back. So and this is
Exactly.
everyone's saying it's the end of it. I bet you they're doing something. Maybe Jackson, you've heard this too on John Campion's show, but they're thinking maybe they're going down a Planet of the Apes type road eventually with dinosaurs taking over the whole planet. Not becoming talking dinos, but like they're just gonna take
No
over
talking
humans.
dinos.
Yeah,
That's where I thought you were going. Is like, they're gonna talk.
No, but I
Okay.
think like it just seems like
No.
dinos are gonna take over everything, and human are gonna be like sparse, more like less of them. So I think it's a cool
Cool.
approach. Be a cool approach. Anyways, Jackson, you got a list?
Abraham Lincoln.
I'm sorry, what? All I caught was Abraham Lincoln. That's all.
Rex Abraham Lincoln.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
like Planet of the Apes.
Uh huh. Anyway, what's your list, Jackson?
Well, I mean, everyone pretty much took all my movies, but
That's fine.
I'm really excited for Love and Thunder. I'm mostly excited to see Christian Bale as Gore
yes. That's what
I
I'm
love Christian Bale. I'm excited to see him play a villain. I'm excited to see him play Gore the God Butcher, who apparently was I guess they were thinking about doing some references to him in Moon Knight, but they didn't. They took him out,
really?
I guess. But
Mm.
yeah, because it's dealing with like the Egyptian gods, and he's out there. His whole mission is to kill all the gods.
Haven't seen it.
But it was good. It was good.
That was really good.
Was it
Oscar Isaac. I just love Oscar.
Incredible.
But yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm really excited for. I'm super excited for Knives Out 2, of course, because I'm a huge Ryan Johnson fan. I was watching Looper again the other day, and I was just like, oh, this is a good movie.
So good.
This is such a good movie.
Actually, one that no one mentioned that I actually am kind of intrigued by is the trailer for that Elvis movie looked kind of
Oh
good.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued. I'm intrigued.
My problem is Baz Luhrmann because he had me really hyped for The Great Gatsby. I was so excited. I was like, this movie's going to win Oscars. Halfway through that movie, I remember just watching it like, this is way too silly. And I don't want Elvis ever to be silly. So
Yeah.
I'm holding out hope. I will definitely see it.
Yeah.
I just hope it's good. I just want it to be good.
I 100% agree. I'm interested because it seems to be movies are kind of you kind of every once in a while you see someone in particular get cast in a few different movies, and it feels like this person's being set up to kind of have like their day.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember
And see if it works.
like I remember Jennifer Lawrence was just like in every film for like the longest.
Exactly. And Austin Butler he was cast in this, and he's also in Dune 2 now.
Is he really?
Which
No
is
way. Wow.
Yeah, he was, and so I'm interested to see what he has in him, because it feels like that's kind of what it feels like they're going, oh, this kid's got talent, let's put him out there and see how people react to him. And he's a good looking kid, and it seems to have kind of like a darker side to him. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
I just had a thought about that thing you're talking about, where people start casting. That almost started happening with Noah Ringer, who played Aang in Avatar, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
He was in Cowboys vs.
Cowboys and Aliens.
I was like, oh, that must mean he's good. And then we saw last year, and I was like, oh shit, what happened?
It's like when they put Sam Worthington in every film.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Man on Ledge.
Remember Terminator Salvation?
Oh.
Does anybody remember Terminator Salvation?
Yeah, I remember just Christian Bale yelling at people.
Christian Bale yelling at people.
Dude, honestly, I forgot Christian Bale's in the new. Is he in the trailer for the new Thor movie?
No, because apparently his look is so crazy that it's like.
Okay, I didn't even know Christian Bale was in the new Thor movie. I knew Natalie Portman was, which I'm excited about, but I completely forgot Christian Bale was in the new Thor movie. Now I'm even more excited.
And Taika Waititi said just like this week, he said it's the best villain that Marvel's ever had. And he doesn't really talk in that sort of way. So I was like,
yeah, I trust Taika. I trust Taika.
Me too.
And with Christian Bale, I mean, to get him, you have to have a good script.
Yeah, because he said he would never return to superhero type stuff ever again after Batman. Yeah. So to see him actually doing something, and then hearing about his prosthetic work, whatever it is, John Campbell.
Are they setting him up to be like the next Thanos, or do we know?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think King the Conqueror is going to be the next Thanos type. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think because it started in Loki, and there was hints of him in Moon Knight, and then I think he's going to be the one, since there's so many variations of him.
Did you hear?
I think he's going to be the one.
Did you hear Kevin Feige say on the red carpet of Doctor Strange, saying that Kang or Loki's storyline was it had the biggest. Yeah, it's the biggest turning point in the whole thing, and I haven't even seen Loki, so I don't know what happened. So whatever happens in that show apparently is going to like send waves through the whole next phases, I think.
And Jonathan Majors plays King the Conqueror. I love Jonathan Majors.
Yeah,
so good.
I watched a Lovecraft County or Country, and that show he's so
good.
He's really good.
But I think we can all admit, like, honestly, that trailer for Nope, it has me curious to, like, what is this going to be? And I think Jordan Peele is going to knock it out of the park again.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I agree. I'm so excited for it. Jordan Peele, I mean, I anything he does, I'll watch him. I loved Key and Peele. I thought it was, I loved them together. I thought they were hilarious.
Zach fought for Key and Peele last show that we did.
Twilight remake, and I loved it. I thought it was cool. So
it was all right. Can I tell you something about Key and Peele? And this is the one thing I wanted you to hammer so good. Like, their episodes, as they age, get better. it shows how much ahead of the curve they were. And I think a lot of that is both Key and Pill. But now seeing Get Out, Us, and I have my problems with Us. The third act, it gets a little too where like, okay, I guess this is where we're going. But whatever this man touches, even some of the Twilight Zone episodes, I'm like, this is mind blowing. This is so good.
Yeah.
Some
Totally.
others, but dude, I'm just excited to see where Jordan Peele, because after this movie's gonna make money. People are gonna go see it. If it's good, it's whatever. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do next. Because doesn't he have like a 4-picture deal with Blumhouse or something?
I'm not sure
so.
what deal he has, but he's taking his time, isn't he? Taking his sweet time.
Yeah.
Releasing these.
Dude, I love it, man.
He's a great director, and I'm excited to just see him. I wonder if he'll ever leave the horror or thrillery kind of world and go toward like a drama or like, because he does. I mean, he's already making Oscar worthy movies with Get Out winning him an Oscar, but I wonder if he will just do a straight drama. That would be kind of interesting to see.
That would be interesting. Mm-hmm.
That would be very
anything, bro. If he did an action movie or a straight up comedy, I don't know if anybody saw Keanu. I thought that was incredible, and he didn't. I think he just wrote and starred in. Like, this guy can do whatever he wants, and I'll be there for it.
I just saw Due Date. I finished Due Date last night. Like, I fell asleep and finished it, and freaking Key is in the movie. Keegan's in the movie. At the end, he comes out. He's like in the delivery room. Robert Downey Jr. walks into the wrong delivery room.
Oh my god!
And he thinks it's the black.
I forgot.
He thinks his kid's black or whatever. And he's like, "What?" And then Keegan's like, "Get out, dude!" It's just like literally a second long. And I'm like, "What? Was he not that famous yet?" Because he's also in Role Models too. Man. He's also in Role Models as well.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They're both hilarious, but and probably. I'll say I'm not excited for Avatar.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
You guys all agree we're not excited.
I have the worst story with seeing Avatar. I went and saw it with all the hype, put on the 3D glasses. The first 5 minutes, I was like, "Oh, this is really cool," and then I had to pee, so I ran outside. And the usher, I was like, "Hey, man, what time does this movie get out?" Mind you, it was 10 o'clock at night. He goes, "Oh, it's out by midnight." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Good for you, Dave Cameron. 2 hours? Awesome." I didn't get out till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And the usher read me the wrong time. I was so mad the entire time. I was like, this is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
I have an Avatar story too. I just can't tell on the live stream.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'll tell you after. But,
it's the best movie ever, right?
I think like the only reason why that movie was the hype is because of the visual effects, right? The visual effects, the color of it, it was very, very visually pleasing. And so I don't know how you really top that, especially with a storyline like this. It was, like I said, it's one of my dad's favorite movies. So we watched it a couple of times. And so, I mean, it was, the storyline was okay. It was, like I said, it was very visually pleasing. But I may go see it.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. We're all saying all what we're saying, but how are we all probably going to see that movie? Like, I don't know.
It depends.
Honestly, I didn't see Doctor Strange. I'm not seeing Avatar 2.
The trailer did nothing for me. This teaser that they just put out. I mean, it was pretty and it looks good. I mean, the CGI is cool, but I was just, the whole time I was watching it, I was just like, okay,
cool.
There was no
exactly.
And it's just a teaser, so I know that it's not like showing like like a storyline or anything, but it was just, the whole thing was visuals. There was like one line, and I was, and he's been working on it apparently since 2017, which I think is like one of his things. Is like, I've been working on this for like years and years and years.
Wait, he started on it in 2017. Like, what was he doing since 2010? Like, whenever the other one stopped.
I know. Had we be in the year 2014, I might be excited for this sequel. I'd be like, all right, cool, it's now time. It's been too long. This movie's gonna flop. I'm saying it. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares.
Video games look about the same.
For our dads.
Except for
It's gonna be the Matrix Resurrection all over again.
Oh.
Oh man. Oh,
Did
that
a
movie.
did a he was like, when I did the first one, I was in like my 30s. He's like now I'm in my 50s. He's like they want to do 5 of these. It's like
He's gonna be in his 80s by the end.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't see it becoming a thing.
Yeah.
The Avatar Land at Disney World was really cool. I thought that the ride that they had.
I've heard that. I've heard the ride's really amazing.
Yeah,
it's too short.
But I'm just not.
Short.
I heard
in
this
this world.
movie's actually about the kids of Zoe Saldana and Sam or whatever his name is. I think it's about.
Is it?
I think it's about their kids. Yeah.
Wow, this is the most that actor's come up in a long time.
Right? I know. Yeah. Terminator Salvation, Avatar.
Man on the Ledge. I think was.
I was about to say, let us not forget the masterpiece, Man on a Ledge.
Who was the other kid who kept popping up and everything? He played Bruce Willis's son in Die Hard 5 or whatever it was.
Justin Long.
No, his son, and he also played the villain in the Tom Cruise movie, Jack Reacher.
Was he in Suicide Squad?
That's him. Yeah, Boomerang dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone shat on him too for a long time.
Everyone did shit on him for a long time.
And I was like, he's all right as Boomerang guy.
He's not bad. I was kind of upset when they killed him in James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
They killed him. Spoiler
They started
alert.
on that one.
Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney.
There we go.
They
Don't
killed
get me
him?
started on the second one.
Oh,
Dang.
Oh,
Thanks,
dude,
Brandon.
I'm
What?
okay. As I liked
What I
Terminator,
do?
but I did not like Jai Courtney's Terminator movie. I thought that was the worst thing ever.
It's bad.
Oh, Jai Courtney has a Terminator
It's
movie?
bad, but I watch it like once a year. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, somewhere there's a good movie in this. There has to be.
Dude, that's
No, there's
that's
not.
me with that's with me with The Last Airbender. I watched that like way too many times.
You've watched that way too many times.
It's just like my heart.
Dude, you
my heart's broken.
auditioned to be in that movie.
I did
Adam,
audition
you
to be in that
auditioned to be in that movie.
I did. I remember rehearsing. I found the tape of me rehearsing the lines with my sister. It's so embarrassing.
I did not know this.
That's
Yeah.
we should have known it, but
I
then
hope
Brandon.
I hope I didn't out you about
No,
that.
I don't.
I hope if anybody has that audition tape, send it out now, please.
M. Night probably watches it every day, thinking about casting me in something. He's like,
He's like, man, what? This movie would have been a hit had I cast Adam. Would have been a hit.
dang it. I almost played, dude. I think about if I did get cast in some crazy multiverse version of where I got cast, I would have been involved in all that stuff about the racism stuff. Remember that? It got like hit for all the racism.
Maybe you could have helped them remember to pronounce the names correctly.
I would have definitely been like, guys, it's
What
not
do you mean,
on.
Ong or Ang?
It's
Which
not
one is
on.
it?
Oh, I'd have been so mad.
That's hilarious.
I probably would have walked off the set. At that time, Brandon, you will remember, M. Night Shyamalan was my favorite director. He was the top tier, and I was so excited about
Dude,
it.
I remember we learned how to write a screenplay by downloading the Signs screenplay.
Yeah.
We're like, man, this is like one of the best written movies. I remember downloading that screenplay, and now that's how I write screenplays, is what I copied from that screenplay.
I know,
So the
same.
man is important to us, no,
Yep.
for better or for worse.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost put his new movie on my list. What was it? The Knock at the Cabin or Knock at the Cabin?
They're still filming.
I'm excited.
Now.
I'll see it. I saw Old. Did I like it? I don't know.
I never saw
I
it.
watched it.
I never saw that.
You never saw Old, and I didn't either. He tweeted just like 3 hours ago. He's like halfway done shooting Knock at the Cabin door.
That photo's so good. See how much we still look into M. Night Shyamalan. We're seeing his tweets.
I'm also excited about the movie that he didn't shoot, but he produced. It was here in East Texas that was shot at a lake, and I'm excited about whatever that is, whatever project
Yeah.
he produced over here. So.
See, we're still excited by him. At least he's back in our good graces. Like, remember After Earth, M. Night Shyamalan? We'd be like, how do we ever like him? Was he ever good?
Was he ever good? I know.
You have to go back and rewatch his movies.
That's all it was.
If there's something I'm excited about the and I hope it gets completed. But they're shooting it right now. It's a TV show. It's Avatar's. Netflix is doing Avatar live action.
Yeah, the Last Airbender TV show. Yeah,
Hey,
They're shooting right now. I've seen set photos of like the green screen stages, and the kids are all, whatever, getting ready. I don't know. You see, but the kid is always wearing a beanie because I think he's tatted up, like with the arrows and stuff. So I'm curious. I'm curious what's gonna happen with this TV show.
Well, I mean, as long as it's better than the movie.
Yeah.
I just
movie.
watched the entire Avatar series during
COVID?
the pandemic in quarantine. I watched the whole thing. My wife was like, you haven't seen Avatar, you need to watch it. And so I watched it, and it's so good.
It's so good.
And I'm so excited to see more in that world. I watched Legend of Korra as well, and it was cool.
That's the one I watched it.
But I want to see Aang and the
too.
gang for sure.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows is Avatar. That is on my top. It's like The Office and Avatar, like my two favorite shows, and the Arrested Development.
It's so well done.
You know what they need to do live action of and make it good is Dragon Ball Z. Come on.
I've always thought the same thing, but how do you do it? How do you?
Yeah, that's how they would do it and make it make sense. Anime is so hard to do in live action, man.
Because they did the movie, right? And the hair looks
The evolution of it. That movie was so terrible. I remember watching it. I was like, dude, what are y'all doing? This is not. What are you doing?
This is back when Netflix sent you the DVD. Sorry, what? It's bad.
Is Taika Waititi, or is he still attached to the live adaptation of Akira?
I think so. I think from far as I know.
I haven't heard in a while. Actually, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought he was doing that next. Honestly, I thought he was doing that next before Thor, but dang, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. I think anime is a hard thing to add.
Nolan was supposed to do it for a while too.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I just think it's hard to adapt things that are so
out there.
Anime just has a particular tone and style that only fits in a cartoon that I think it's hard to adapt in a correct. I think the closest to a good adaptation or a good look at anime is Scott Pilgrim is like the closest to anime, but it's like almost not making fun of it, but it's leaning into like the cartoon-esque of it. Like you would have to do that. Like Dragon Ball.
And because comedy, you're able to absorb the wackiness of it and not feel like taking away from it. Like if it was a more serious film.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Cowboy Bebop. I don't know if y'all watched that one on Netflix.
No, I didn't watch it, but I heard about it.
I watched the first couple episodes.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I haven't finished Cowboy Bebop as a series yet. I'm like 2/3 of a way through it right now. I'm working my way through it. So I was saving it until after I finished it, but then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it's canceled now." So
I ain't watching it. If there's one show that I would want to see from anime to live action, which would never work, it's sort of like in the Pokemon realm, which kind of they'd made that right with Ryan Reynolds, but I want my favorite show growing up was Digimon, and I'm like, just come on. But I know it'd be so hard to do.
That soundtrack.
Yeah,
but don't say that, man, because kind of bringing it back to Matt Reeves, the Batman. Watching the Batman, I feel like that's someone that was influenced by the Batman, the animated series.
That's true.
So I could see someone taking that and doing that with it. Like you just never know, like where you could take it. Because I watched Digimon. I don't know anything about Pokemon, but I actually watched Digimon.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
You didn't have cable.
But
that's why.
Like you didn't have cable.
We didn't have
cable.
We
had a legal cable.
With the age of Sonic, right? Because I love Sonic movies. The first one was pretty good. I'm excited to see the second one, just because that first one it was action. It had enough action to keep you interested, and enough wackiness to say, okay, this is Sonic. So I think in the age that we're in, and how, the digital age, I think that they could do that. Digimon more so than like Dragon Ball Z and the those other
There's
animations, because of the wackiness. So Digimon is, I feel like it's in the realm of possibility.
I've thought about it for a long time of how I would approach directing a Digimon thing, and I think what I would do is there's a story in Digimon the movie of Tai and Kari little, and a Digi egg shows up in their room, and I would do that story. I would adapt like a simple story about like 3 characters, and it gets crazier by the third act, like where there's a big
Yeah.
battle of monsters in the streets and things like that. And then you can start doing a universe build off of that. But I would start in a small, contained story in an apartment that expands out in the third act. I think that's the best way to do it. Don't try to go big.
Adam, is that before or after your Three Ninjas remake?
My Three Ninjas remake is coming.
Hey, yes.
Is coming at
Hey,
some point.
Three Ninjas is still. I showed it to Bane, my 9-year-old, the other day. He's in karate. He now takes karate so serious. In case someone's gonna break into the house, he can beat the crap out of them.
Oh,
got-
the Three Ninjas,
have I-
Adam, you know.
Have I ever told you guys my Three Ninjas reboot idea? Have I ever told you, Zach or Jackson?
You have me.
So
We
my
talked about it previously, and I was like, "You better. I want to be a part of that movie."
Oh, that's right. That's right. So my reboot is
Are we
like
still
they're
on the show?
yeah, we're still on the show. We probably should say bye.
God, okay, I didn't know people. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we probably should close out the show.
I don't know if you want to give this away. That's
I don't
why
think
it's
I-
a really
actually-
good idea.
I actually don't want to give it away.
We don't want to put this out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's the only reason I'm looking out for you, Adam, just in case. Like,
All right, let's say goodbye from everybody. Let's start with you, Zach. Yeah, do you want to shout out any places people can follow you?
Instagram, Avenue Zach. My band is called Avenue without the first E's. Follow us on all platforms, and Spotify, iTunes. Yeah.
Sweet, Jackson.
Yeah, I'm in a band called Low Lives. If you want to check it out, we're kind of like a 90s heavier band. And on Instagram, I'm Jackson's Evil Twin.
Nice, Brandon.
check out Jackson's band Low Lives. They're really good. I've actually been a fan of this guy before I even met him, so I mean that. No, I'm Brandon Aaron Bonnet on Facebook and Instagram. Follow me if you want to. I just talk about movies for the most part. And if you're in the Lubbock, Texas area, come to Ralph's Records.
Nice.
That's about it. It's a record store I work at.
And I am Adam Paul Stone on everything. So if you guys want to hit me up for a music video or wedding, whatever you need done, thank you guys so much for watching this week. We're going to come back soon with some more Let's Settle This shows and try to do more podcasts. I've just been a little busy with upcoming trips and family stuff. So we'll get back to it as soon as.
And maybe it's understandable when someone can't go to the movie to see Doctor Strange 2, and maybe you shouldn't be such a jerk about it when I didn't see it. You know, life happens, right?
It is
Adam?
not understandable that this is your thing. You watch movies and you failed to watch one of the biggest movies on the planet.
I'm just saying life happens. You know, maybe you can't do a podcast. Maybe you can't go see a movie. I think those are kind of the same.
Nope, don't hear yet. Closing out. Later, skaters.
Bye.
Later, skaters. Later, skaters.